How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine today. He is a manager at a fast food place. It's not one of the major chains like a McDonald's or a Burger King or a Taco Bell, right? It's not like one of the major chains like that just everybody immediately knows. But he's a manager at a fast food place, right? And it is a chain place, but it's not like a major chain, right? And well, he has a young Latina who works for him, right? I want to say this girl is 16 years old. She's a teenager, right? Still in high school. She is an American citizen. She was born in the United States. My understanding of the situation is her parents were not born here. I don't know their citizenship status, right? But my understanding is her parents are immigrants. Whether, I don't know about their documentation. I don't know if they're citizens. Not really relevant to the story, though, really. This girl, minding her own business, doing her job at this fast food place, right, has to deal with a customer. This customer comes in, and I wish I had been there to see this, but I'm just imagining your, stereotypical Karen, with the exact haircut and the attitude and, the total Karen, right? You know what you think a Karen looks like, right? That's what I am imagining here. Sees this young Latina working, loses her mind. Well, you look like a Mexican and you don't belong here. The girl's family actually is from Mexico, so at least you got that part right. Usually they get that wrong because there are so many that are from not Mexico that, they accuse of being Mexican. But whether they're Mexican or not, Mexican, Venezuelan, Panamanian, Chilean, Salvadorian, whatever, doesn't matter, right? Does not matter. So, flipping out about, this young girl just working a job. It's like, well, I ought to call ICE on you. And my friend, who is the manager, intervenes. Intervenes to defend his employee. You know what, ma'am? You go ahead and call ICE. You go ahead and do that. And he just kind of stared her down defiantly, Or at least this is my understanding of what happened. Like I said, I wasn't there personally. I'm hearing the story from him, and I have no reason to doubt him because he's this type of guy. Right? And he's got a friend that works for him who happens to be a black man, right? And this woman goes off about him being there. It's like, okay, hold on. You're going after her for being Mexican. You going after him for being black. Ma'am, get out. Get out. And she doesn't understand what's going on. What do you mean, get out? We're not going to serve you. You know, businesses reserve the right to refuse service for any reason, right? Well, if you're going to come in and disrespect the employees, yeah, I would refuse service as well. In fact, if I worked with him, I may have gotten fired that day. I may have gotten fired because I don't think I could have been as I'm guessing he did this professionally, or at least I hope he did. But basically told her, get out. We're not going to serve you. You go ahead and call ICE, and I'm going to stick up for my employee. And, you know, this girl, I mean, she's already terrified because she knows what's going on in the world, right? She knows that she is a target based on just her ethnicity, right? Or, you know, if they come for her parents, what's going to happen to her? Like I said, she's just a teenager, right? She's like 16 years old or something like that, right? But yeah, I mean, for a guy to stand up, and a white man at that, young white man, he's probably in his mid-20s, so he's like half my age, right? And he's like, listen, the Mexican girl, she's welcome here, she works here, she stays. The black man over there, same thing, he stays. Racist Karen, out the door. You're not welcome here. And you know what? I gained some respect for this young kid, right? Now, of course, I call him young kid because, like I said, he's about half my age, right? He's in his mid-20s. So, by my standards, he is a young kid. He stood up, he did the right thing, defended his employees, and you know what? I've told you before that I'm a business owner. I don't have employees. I am the only employee at my business. But if I did have employees, I would defend them the same way he did. Because there's no reason to come into a place and disrespect the people who work there. And what I find particularly interesting, though, or I guess not interesting, but more amusing, is when these same people who want all of those people deported, they like to frequent Mexican restaurants that are staffed by Mexican immigrants. But yet, you want them all thrown out. Yeah, right. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but all right. You do you, I guess, you friggin' weirdo. But yeah, I'm proud of my friend there for standing up for his employees, two of them employees, and for, you know, he stood up for him, he did the right thing, tossed that lady out. Hopefully, they don't ever have to deal with her again. Oh, I forgot about this part. Forgot about this part until just now. I was about to wrap up. But apparently this lady decided to take pictures of my friend and blast him all over social media, right? You know, blast him on social media for employing a Mexican is what she said. And he's like, yeah, I do. So what's your point? You go ahead and do that. And my understanding is that everyone who knows this girl really likes this girl. So uh, more than likely, my buddy's going to be applauded for standing up for her rather than, you know, oh, well, we're not going to go do business there. You know, we're not going to go to that store, right? And I hope that's how it works out because, you know, if you believe in karma, hopefully that little fast food restaurant will gain a lot of success here in the very near future. Hopefully. Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting story, kind of nice to tell, and, you know, maybe all hope is not lost. You know, little things like that count as wins, so don't give up hope. I'll see y'all